How many adults get up in the morning, first thing they have is, say, orange juice and a cup of coffee? Isn't that the traditional breakfast fluids? And what are they doing when they have their orange juice and their cup of coffee? They're thirsty, they're trying to hydrate, but neither will hydrate them. How clean would your body be if you washed it in orange juice? How clean would your body be if you washed it in a cup of coffee? Water and water alone will supply what the body needs.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Barbara O'Neill, and today we're talking about something so simple yet so essential: hydration. Staying hydrated is key to keeping your body functioning at its best, but many people don't realize how much more there is to hydration than just drinking water. Did you know that adding a pinch of Celtic salt to your water can significantly improve your hydration? Celtic salt is rich in minerals like magnesium, potassium, and calcium, which help your body absorb and utilize water more effectively. Studies show that nearly 75% of people are chronically dehydrated, and this can lead to fatigue, headaches, and even long-term health issues. In this video, we'll explore why hydration is so important, how Celtic salt can enhance your hydration and mineral intake. Stay tuned to learn how small changes can make a big difference in your health.
I always say to people, how much water do you drink? And these are some of the answers. I don't like water. If I drink water, my feet swell. If I drink water, I'm going to the bathroom all day. Those last two answers tell me that the water's not getting inside the cell. So how do we get the water inside the cell? We have to go to the third most vital element needed for life, and that is sodium. The fourth most vital element needed for life is potassium. So let's go back to sodium. In nature, we find the highest amount of sodium in seawater, and seawater contains 92 minerals. Of those 92 minerals, 30%, approximately 30% is sodium, and of those 92 minerals, approximately 50% is chloride. Now, because sodium chloride take up the most amount, they're the first crystals formed when the water is evaporated. So what man does is he scoops up the first crystals formed, he bleaches them white, puts aluminium with it so that it runs freely, and there's your table salt. Table salt is a dangerous salt because we now have two very harsh minerals that if you were to inject both of those into the blood, you would die. There's two harsh minerals and they need all the other 90 to soften them and balance them. The highest concentration of mineral inside the cell is potassium. The highest concentration outside the cell is sodium. And in this bilayered membrane that is around every cell, there are sodium-potassium pumps. And these sodium-potassium pumps are ever going like this, maintaining the balance between potassium and sodium. But when someone's not eating enough fruits and vegetables, and that's where you get most of your potassium, and they're putting table salt on everything far too much, what happens now is sodium levels rise and potassium levels drop. There is a small amount of sodium in the cell, but when this happens, you see osmosis and diffusion happens when the highest concentration merges into the lowest. So now sodium levels inside the cell are rising, which they should not, and the cell swells. What's that called? High blood pressure. The doctor is right. Table salt will contribute to high blood pressure. There's a French doctor named Dr. Ghelidj, and he's written a whole book on salt. He said, when people come to me with high blood pressure, I put them on Celtic salt. Why does he put them on Celtic salt? Because Celtic salt contains 82 minerals. It's a hand-harvested sea salt. So the minerals are in the Celtic salt in their balanced form. What about Himalayan salt? In many places, Himalayan salt is a lot easier to get. There's about 75 minerals. So it's pretty good. But I prefer the Celtic salt. And one reason is that the Celtic salt has 3 magnesiums. It contains magnesium chloride and magnesium bromide and magnesium sulfate. Magnesium is a water-hungry molecule, and this explains why the Celtic salt is such a moist salt, especially when we've had a lot of rain, because those 3 magnesiums absorb the moisture. And because magnesium is a water-hungry molecule, it can be used to help the water get into the cell. So when you take a crystal of Celtic salt, put it on your tongue, and some say, how big's a crystal? Well, if you've got high blood pressure, start small, about the size of a sesame seed. I don't have high blood pressure, so I might have about 3 times little sesame seeds. Put it on your tongue, your mucous membranes start absorbing the minerals, the magnesium is taken to the cell membrane, and you drink your water, and that magnesium pulls that water inside the cell. It's the quickest way to hydrate a body.
When magnesium helps pull water into the cell, it ensures proper hydration at the cellular level, which is crucial for overall bodily function. Without this cellular hydration, many of the body's processes become inefficient or even compromised. Proper hydration supports optimal energy production, nutrient absorption, waste elimination, and overall cellular communication. Another benefit of magnesium is its role in relaxing the body. Magnesium aids in calming the nervous system, which helps with better sleep, reduced stress levels, and improved muscle recovery. This is particularly important for individuals experiencing chronic dehydration, which often leads to symptoms like fatigue, brain fog, and muscle cramps. Celtic salt's balance of minerals, particularly magnesium, ensures that the body gets what it needs without overwhelming it. By contrast, table salt disrupts this balance. Table salt, with its stripped-down composition, lacks the trace minerals needed to balance sodium and chloride. The absence of these minerals contributes to water retention, bloating, and high blood pressure because the body struggles to process the excess sodium efficiently. When switching to a natural salt like Celtic or Himalayan salt, many people notice a significant reduction in water retention. This is because the minerals in these salts help regulate fluid balance more effectively, allowing the body to absorb and utilize water properly. For individuals with swollen feet or excessive trips to the bathroom after drinking water, incorporating Celtic salt into their routine can make a remarkable difference. A simple routine to follow is to start your day with a glass of water and a small pinch of Celtic salt on the tongue. This helps kickstart hydration and mineral balance for the day. Throughout the day, continue to drink water and occasionally add a pinch of Celtic salt if needed, especially after sweating, exercising, or spending time in the heat. Potassium should not be overlooked either. While sodium plays a vital role, potassium is just as crucial for cellular hydration. Incorporating potassium-rich foods like bananas, avocados, leafy greens, and sweet potatoes ensures that the body maintains the correct balance between sodium and potassium. This balance directly influences heart health, muscle function, and even energy levels. Proper hydration is not just about drinking water, it's about ensuring that water gets into the cells where it is needed. By understanding the role of minerals, especially magnesium, sodium, and potassium, we can make better choices to support our health. Celtic salt is a simple but powerful tool to help the body achieve optimal hydration and function effectively.
We have a book in our library, and I know we have it in the library here. It's by an Iranian doctor called Dr. Batman Ghelidj. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's called One of the Body's Many Cries for Water. The second title to his book is He's Not Sick, He's Thirsty. The third title to his book is Don't Treat Thirst with Medications. His story is fascinating. I think it was in about the 70s or 80s. He was a political prisoner. And because he was a doctor, everyone came to him when they had problems. And all he had was water. So no matter what the problem was, he'd get them to drink a glass of water. He'd come and see them 15 minutes, he'd give them another glass of water. So usually in half an hour, they had 3 glasses of water. And he was just shocked at how the headaches are gone, the migraines have eased, the stomach ulcer pain had relieved, the asthma attack relieved. He only gave them water because he had nothing else. He just wanted to make, I guess, a show that he was doing something, and because he was doctor, they just drank their water. So he began to document what he was finding because it surprised him. He did not realize, he did not expect the water to have that much of an effect. I can't remember the period of time, but eventually the government changed and he was freed, and he said, look, do you mind if I stay a bit longer? I'm in the middle of this fascinating research. And he has presented his findings at medical conferences. He's presented his findings in medical journals, but it's not a very popular subject because you can't make much money out of water. Now you'll understand why the second title of his book is He's Not Sick, He's Thirsty, and Don't Treat Thirst with Medications. It was a fascinating book for me to read, and I'd like to take you inside and look at a few body functions and how they're affected by dehydration. So let's begin at the mouth. Did you know that in a state of chronic dehydration, too much saliva is produced? Some people think a dry mouth is a sign of dehydration.
When our body is dehydrated, saliva production increases because the body signals the salivary glands to work harder in an effort to moisten the mouth. This is why some people with chronic dehydration feel an almost sticky sensation in their mouths, even if they don't associate it with thirst. From the mouth, let's move to the stomach. Dehydration can significantly affect digestion. The stomach relies on an adequate supply of water to produce hydrochloric acid, which is essential for breaking down food. When the body is dehydrated, the stomach struggles to maintain this balance, leading to indigestion, heartburn, or even ulcers over time. Dr. Batman Ghelidj observed that many people who suffered from chronic digestive issues found relief simply by increasing their water intake. Next, consider the brain. The brain is about 75% water, and even mild dehydration can have an impact on cognitive functions. It's no coincidence that headaches and migraines are some of the first signs of dehydration. In fact, Dr. Batman Ghelidj often documented how people with debilitating migraines experience significant relief after drinking several glasses of water. Moving on to the joints, water plays a critical role in maintaining lubrication. The cartilage that cushions our joints is primarily made of water, and when the body lacks sufficient hydration, joint pain or stiffness can worsen. This is particularly true for individuals with arthritis or similar conditions. Dr. Batman Ghelidj also delved into the cardiovascular system. Dehydration thickens the blood, making it harder for the heart to pump. This can lead to increased blood pressure and puts extra strain on the heart. Drinking water can act as a natural remedy to support healthy blood flow. The body has countless ways of signaling dehydration, but too often we mistake these signals for symptoms of other conditions. Instead of reaching for medication, we should first ensure we are adequately hydrated. A simple glass of water may be the most overlooked yet powerful solution for many health problems.
So we had a man do our program from South Africa, and he and his wife came. He was not interested in being at our retreat, but his wife had paid the full amount, so he came, reluctantly. And when I'm talking to him, he's about 57, he did not want to answer my question. He answered them abruptly and shortly. He wasn't annoyed at me. I know he was annoyed at his wife that he was even there. I said to him, do you drink water? Yep, 2 litres a day. So I just moved on from that. I didn't ask any more questions. I said, do you want any medication? He said, yes, I'm on a different antibiotic every month to kill the Helicobacter pylori in my stomach because I have had stomach problems for 25 years. I've been all over the world. So the latest thing he was trying was antibiotics because they found he had Helicobacter in his stomach. I said, how long have you been on this program? He said, 4 months. So he's had 4 doses of Helicobacter pylori, and guess what? It's still there and he's still got the stomach pain. I said, are you interested in trying an alternative to your medication? He said, no, I'm very happy with my medication. Thank you very much. And I always give everyone respect. I respect everyone's choices. Isn't that our God-given right? Absolutely. I just said, oh, and I left it there. Now, after the first lecture where I talked about the body's ability to heal itself, so that we have a problem, we should be looking at how the body heals and work with it. He and his wife, and she was on the medication too, they came straight up to me. He said, that made more sense than anything I've ever heard. I'm willing to do what you suggest. I said to him, I have no authority over your medication. But I said, if it was me, I would cease it because it hasn't worked so far, and I would try the herbs that I suggest. He said, I'm willing. So what I did was I gave him a herb called slippery elm, which coats and soothes the lining of the gut. He did our basic program, 2 days on juices, and we encouraged people, of course, to drink water between every juice. At the end of the week, I had a very happy man in front of me. He was eager to tell me something. I said, yes. He said, I've had no stomach for 2 days, first time in 25 years. I said, that's good news. And he said, and I've worked out the problem. To me, that was even better news. Because who's the doctor? We are. We are. I said, what was the problem? He said, I was drinking nothing between meals, and I was drinking almost a whole litre of water with every meal. So I want to show you what was happening in his gut. So what was happening in his gut, he's drinking nothing between meals, which means the lining to his gut is very thin, which means the hydrochloric acid is breaking down the tissues. And remember, the bacteria is an opportunist organism. And so what happened is the body started to, its own microorganisms changed role and came to the cleanup team, remember the garbage collectors, and they started to clean up the dead tissue, and their name was called Helicobacter pylori. See why you have to ask why are they there? No wonder they find Helicobacter pylori in every case of stomach ulcer. They're there to clean up the mess. Now, as God would have it, when we smell food and we start to chew food, hydrochloric acid, here's hydrochloric acid is released. And hydrochloric acid connects with pepsinogen to release pepsin, which breaks down protein, but hydrochloric acid does something else. It's antifungal, antibacterial. And so it has the ability to wipe out these guys. And just as hydrochloric acid is considering going down and wiping these guys out, he has a big glass of water.
When he drank a large glass of water with his meals, it diluted the hydrochloric acid in his stomach. Hydrochloric acid is critical for proper digestion and also acts as the body's first line of defense against harmful bacteria, parasites, and fungi. When it's diluted, its ability to break down food and neutralize harmful microorganisms is severely compromised. This creates a perfect environment for issues like Helicobacter pylori to thrive. Hydrochloric acid not only helps digest protein by activating pepsin, but it also ensures that nutrients like iron, calcium, and vitamin B12 are absorbed properly. When digestion is incomplete, the undigested food begins to ferment and putrefy in the gut, leading to bloating, gas, and other gastrointestinal problems. For 25 years, this man unknowingly set himself up for chronic digestive distress by simply drinking water at the wrong times. The key is understanding when to drink water to support optimal digestion. Ideally, you should hydrate between meals, not during. Drinking water 30 minutes before a meal hydrates the stomach lining and ensures that the mucosa is thick and protected. This prepares the stomach to handle the strong acidity of hydrochloric acid during digestion. After eating, it's best to wait at least an hour before drinking again. This allows the stomach to focus on breaking down food without interference. Sipping small amounts of water during meals is fine, but gulping down large quantities is where the problem lies. Proper hydration habits also improve the function of the small intestine, where most nutrient absorption takes place. When food leaves the stomach, the pancreas releases enzymes and bicarbonate to neutralize the stomach acid and further digest the food. If the stomach acid is diluted, the food enters the small intestine only partially digested, placing extra strain on the pancreas and other digestive organs. This man's realization that timing was key made all the difference. Once he started drinking water between meals and avoided large amounts with his food, his symptoms disappeared. His gut lining healed, and the opportunistic bacteria like Helicobacter pylori no longer had a reason to be there. This simple change underscores the importance of respecting the natural rhythm of the body. Timing is everything, and when it comes to hydration, knowing when to drink water is just as critical as the quantity. The body has an incredible capacity to heal when given the right conditions, and something as basic as drinking water at the right time can be life-changing.
Dr. Robert Thompson states that the clearest indicator of a creator God is seawater, because it's the exact same mineral balance and proportion as is found in the body. You think about it. We cry seawater, we sweat seawater, we urinate out seawater. Every cell in the body is bathed in seawater. That's why a salt-free diet is quite crazy, actually. So I've got some more good news. You don't have to drink seawater. Do you know it says in the sailor's manual that if they're shipwrecked and they sip little bits of water every day, it'll keep them alive for a long time. But if they don't drink any water for 3 days and get very dehydrated and drink a whole glass full of seawater, that can throw an imbalance and they can go quite mad. So we don't need to drink seawater. All we need to do is get the whole salt, Celtic salt or Himalayan salt, that has all of those minerals in it. Dr. Robert Thompson states that if you take a little crystal of salt in your mouth, give it a little chomp, drink your glass of water, you do that with every glass of water, that's 8 times a day. And what's a baked potato without salt? I'm asking you. Huh? And what's avocado and tomato on rye bread or spelt bread without salt? Our palate tells us we need salt. And in Matthew chapter 5 verse 13, the Bible says, "Ye are the salt of the earth. If the salt hath lost its savour, wherewith shall it be salted? It is henceforth good for nothing but to be cast out and trodden under foot of men." If the salt hath lost its savour, how does salt lose its savour? I'd like to suggest that the table salt has lost its savour because it's only 2 minerals. So throw your calcium supplements out, and the money that you usually use to buy calcium supplements, buy the Celtic salt.
Celtic salt, often referred to as grey sea salt, is a mineral-rich, unrefined salt that is hand-harvested from the coastal regions of Brittany, France. Unlike highly processed table salt, which is stripped of its natural minerals and often contains additives like anti-caking agents, Celtic salt retains its natural mineral composition, making it a far healthier choice. One of its lesser-known benefits is its role in supporting bone health. Bones are primarily composed of calcium and phosphate, but they also require a variety of trace minerals to maintain strength and density. Celtic salt contains over 80 trace minerals, including magnesium, potassium, and calcium, all of which are essential for building and maintaining strong bones. Magnesium, for instance, plays a critical role in converting vitamin D into its active form, which is necessary for calcium absorption. Without adequate magnesium, calcium cannot effectively be utilized, leading to weaker bones. Celtic salt is a natural source of magnesium, helping to ensure proper calcium metabolism. In addition, the sodium in Celtic salt is not the same as the heavily refined sodium chloride found in table salt. Sodium is crucial for maintaining a proper acid-base balance in the body, which directly affects bone health. When the body becomes too acidic, often due to poor diet or stress, it leaches calcium from the bones to neutralize the acidity. By consuming mineral-rich Celtic salt, you can help maintain an alkaline environment, reducing the need for the body to pull calcium from the bones. Celtic salt also promotes better hydration by improving electrolyte balance, which is critical for nutrient transport and waste removal. Proper hydration ensures that bones receive the nutrients they need while flushing out toxins that can weaken bone tissue over time. Why choose Celtic salt over table salt? Table salt is stripped of beneficial minerals during the refining process, leaving behind only sodium chloride, which can disrupt the body's natural balance and contribute to health issues like high blood pressure and water retention. In contrast, Celtic salt is unprocessed and retains its natural mineral profile. It also contains moisture, making it more bioavailable to the body. Additionally, the trace minerals in Celtic salt work synergistically, supporting not just bone health, but overall well-being. Thanks for watching. I hope you've gained a better understanding of the importance of hydration and how something as simple as Celtic salt can make a big difference. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more tips on improving your health naturally. Stay hydrated, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.